Hey everyone, it's Pat Brown here again with another race critique for you here. This one here is of the Electric City Classic from 2022, the last time that it was happening. Hopefully we get to see this race here in the future in downtown Scranton. Uh, let's get started off with the course. So it's a very corner heavy course. There are a few longer straightaways. But you'll see where you're pretty much, unless you're right on the front, you're going to be sprinting or coasting. And now, ideally, so when I started this race, I started the cameras right away. I knew it was going to probably be like an hour 45 or so race, since it was a good distance. Uh, but my thought was in 2022 with my training. Wasn't or didn't have a lot of um, intensity work. So I thought, one, I need to get up to the front the best that I can, save as much energy as I can, because I know that it's going to be a longer race than what I would, than what I'm going to be used to. And so in the start, I definitely made a big effort to see what I could do to get right to the front, as you saw coming out of the grid there. But we're going about as, I don't want to say as fast as you can go around these turns, but in terms of moving up efficiently, we're pretty lined out. And so what's happening here at the front is Skyline, the a domestic pro team here. Most of their guys are at the front, and they are just trying to drill it the best they can, keep things smooth, keep their riders safe, to hopefully also kind of wean out the field here and give their best chance of winning here to their sprinter. And so they're definitely starting to wean things out. I believe I had a teammate in the race here, but they got a poor call up place. So, and call up position definitely matters here. You can see from the grid, it's not like you're right on someone's wheel. There's probably a bike length or so in between you and the next person. So those people at the front are getting 20, 30 bike lengths on you even before you start, which is a huge advantage. So these races where they have the grids, if you're able to register early to get a better spot, if you're able to get some, I don't know if they did this based off of points and that, but having a good call up spot is definitely key. Now, it's not going to end your race, right? But it's definitely going to make it significantly harder, because if pretty much everyone besides the front riders is doing 500-600 watts, lining the field out throughout the whole course, well, that's going to be a lot more bike lengths that you need to make up later. See, someone tried to come up on the inside of me there and then opened up a gap. So, despite the lack of high-end fitness, I'm definitely holding in here, hoping for a slowdown, which there weren't really any huge slowdowns in this race. Where the group kind of bunches up. Team Skyline, really, it was there. Oop, here's a crash. A little bit of a pileup, and then that's even more sprinting to get around. So if you get caught behind these things, right? Get caught behind the crashes. If you get caught up in the back of the group, one, more likely to have crashes in front of you. And when we're lined out like this, right now my alarm bells are ringing, right? Definitely at risk of being dropped. So heart rate's getting up there. We're going over 30. And we're just trying to make sure that we catch back on here. See if we get a clear Yeah, so you can see there's still a little bit of a gap. Obviously not ideal. We want to be not working harder than the guys who are on the front of the race here, which we happen to be right now, just to try to catch up. So another reason to try to get near the front, especially on a technical course like this, right? So there's a lot of time where we're going to be freewheeling to go in through turns. I actually took that a little bit more speed than the guy in front, which was good. So that means you're going to be on the pedals more and harder in between turns. And so the more turns you have, especially in close succession here, the um, the bigger the kick you're going to have to put out typically, especially the further back you are in the group. And it looks like we're just catching on again here. So unfortunately, I would have liked to have been a little bit higher up in the gridding. Um, I definitely tried what I could sprinting right at the start, but I also didn't get a very good clip in. But you do what you got to do. We are bunching up a touch now. But the tough thing with it being such a technical course is that it makes it harder to move up because you don't want to go in on someone's on inside and dive bomb, right? Because that's going to cause some crashes. But you also don't want to waste a whole bunch of power just sprinting to get around one person. So it's definitely going to be a game of inches rather than miles when it comes to these tighter turned courses here. So in terms of my race, not a lot happened. Um, just tried to kind of stay in. Did come did the race did come around and did end up finishing, I think, in like somewhere around 20th position or so. Um, Basically just kind of made it through. I believe there was um, a little bit of like a mix up with Team Skyline at the end, right? So they've been lining it out the whole race. I think they ended up burning out their teammates a little bit more than what they would have liked to. And so they ended up getting swarmed in the last quarter of a lap or so. Um, so unfortunately, they put in all this work and they didn't really get what they wanted out of it. But that's bike racing and it's all about the tactics. Maybe don't put everyone on the front throughout the whole race and try to do something like what Legion does, right? Because they're not always successful either. Yeah, so if you want to see more footage from this race, feel free to check out the full race that I have posted. Unfortunately, again, my GoPros didn't last the whole way because I did start it right from the start. Because truly, I wasn't sure how long I was going to be able to last in this race. And yeah, check that out. I do have lots of other race critiques here, which I think you'll probably get a little bit more from than this race, just since basically I was pack fodder for this race, and there's more tactics that play out in other races, especially the recent uploads that I put out. So make sure that you subscribe, especially for the new race critiques and full races that I put out, and give this video a like and comment anything that you think I should improve upon. And we'll catch you in the next one. That was a pretty good line here. finally.